the furnace thing. I think that's interesting. What's up, you guys? David Fox here, the Black Belt Realtor, and we've got another episode of the Keeping It Real Estate podcast. My man Jordan Bobbitt. How we doing, Jordan?
Doing good.
Fantastic. And Jerry himself. How we doing, brother?
Good. How's everybody out there?
Well, I don't know. I have no idea if they're well. I mean, who knows?
If they're watching, they're doing okay, I guess. They're living.
I'm going to move this. Yeah, that's cool. All right, so we've got a few topics. I think we were talking pre-show about the cost, how new builds are built. And, you guys were showing me an $850,000 home in Monroe. I know that area so well. That seems, I cannot imagine paying $1 million or $850 for a house over that way.
Which sucks.
How long has it been on the market?
It's been about a month, I think.
Yeah.
And it really is a nice house. I mean, when you look at the pictures,
if you want that house though, you don't want it there. Like Amanda wants that house and she doesn't want it. Like you're by there. What's on an acre near the river?
3. Yeah, and it's been 26
days. 3 acres.
Yeah.
Near Munson Park. Yeah, I guess.
See, and I woke up and how many deers do we have in the backyard this morning?
10
5
acres. Yeah. You can't
15?
hunt. You can't hunt, man. So I think what we'd like to do, a couple things, is we are the country's at war, right? So how does war impact home sales? And I've only ever been. I guess is the war of Afghanistan, the war on terrorism, was that a real war?
Well, I was going to say, to go back to your first question, how does it affect real estate? It's going to be mostly just individuals' opinions. I mean, if you've got, let's just say, half the country scared because, oh, no, World War IV is right around the corner.
4.
Well,
Can we get into 3 first?
Or 3,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Then they're probably going to not buy a house because why am I going to do a long-term
it makes
decision?
a decision. No. Yeah,
know?
I don't know if like the troops, and I do need to retract the statement. The war on terror, like, it's very much we sent troops over there, but was that like as big of a war as say Vietnam or World War II? I mean, probably fatally speaking, no. But I think people's sentiment, the entire home buying process, everyone wants to like run the numbers and do the things. It is such an emotional process. Like it's far more of a psychological one because the math is.
The math is
it's 4th grade math, right? Jerry, when was the Cuban?
How many wars have you lived?
Yeah. When was the Cuban Missile Crisis? I'm thinking of the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Was I alive? Early 70s, I think, is when it was. So, I mean, was I alive?
Yeah. Okay, but you weren't in the real estate. How long
I got in 91.
Oh, so that's a little bit later.
I would have been in real estate during a lot of the Middle Eastern conflicts. I think.
How'd you see it impact? Well, the 90s.
I honestly, you just brought that up, and I don't see it as affecting real estate. I don't ever recall any of the numbers really changing because we were in some kind of conflict. I mean, unfortunately, we've been in conflict for 35 years with somebody along the line.
Somebody somewhere, absolutely.
I think if we were to get it on a bigger level, like Jordan was saying, a world war, I think it would definitely impact real estate. But that's not. We won't get into that politics portion of it because I don't think. And I'm a huge American fan, right?
Yeah,
but I don't think Americans. I think we're split 50-50. I don't think we could handle a world war in today's society. They're too weak. They can't handle death. And that's just a reality.
When you say they can't, you don't think they can handle it like...
No, as soon as the statistics start coming back that we've lost 5,000 men in a day or a battle, you're going to have too many protesters out there crying and saying, we can't do this, bring our boys home. And nobody wants to lose any kids. So if you've lost any kids, my heart's with you, honestly. But unfortunately, freedom costs, and it does.
I think they would be okay with it.
Absolutely not.
I think they would be...
They're already crying because we lost 6 men in the conflict that we're in.
I think they would be okay with the loss if they felt that we were over there for a good reason. Case in point, I don't know, because
Well,
they thought we were over they thought we were over in Afghanistan for a good reason. They were, and it still wasn't like
Right,
people
I mean-
weren't fully on board with the war
In Vietnam
on
or
terrorism. The war in Vietnam was very much
That's contentious.
not
Yeah.
not
American.
American supported. But,
Well, that's what I was saying.
But
That war isn't.
everybody. I started watching Band of Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
They were like and the people from that hometown who missed the cut
yeah.
for the airborne 101st Airborne. They committed suicide.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't go.
But we don't
Because
have
they
that
could- they
mentality
couldn't
today.
Go. Yeah, well, yeah, I know.
No, we don't. I mean, it's hard to say, but we don't have the spine.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very few people are built with that mentality.
I'm hopeful.
You're-
Jordan's like.
I let Jordan speak. I mean,
he's
Jordan's
like,
closer to
he's
that
like
age.
my generation would be the ones going, and we're not doing it.
They're not.
There you go. They're not. They don't want to do it. It would be older men in their 40s.
Yeah, you would honestly. I think you'd have better luck sending people in their 30s and 40s than some sending people in their 20s.
Oh, man,
You'd be screwed.
Better send me with some
I mean,
Motrin. Yeah.
Well,
True.
Give me-
But at
You'd
least
still be
we would
better
go.
off.
I mean,
My generation, of course, who I'm friends with. Obviously,
Yeah.
that's different. When you look at the average person my age,
well, see, I don't know.
okay, I'll look at it like this. When I was in my first year of college, we got into conflict, or it was imminent that we were going to go to war with Iraq. Okay. That would have been
in
89.
89.
Yep.
Okay.
That was pretty much, we were going to go to war with
We
Iraq.
have literally been at war
Seriously.
in the Middle East. My entire life we've been fighting.
You know, my dad did go to Vietnam. 4 of his brothers
Oh,
went
did
to
he? I
Vietnam.
didn't realize
Yeah, he had
that.
4. There were 5 of them there at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
that's
God
still
bless.
only 30.
Together?
They all came back home.
Oh wow.
They were all there during the same time period. So.
I didn't realize your dad. So did he? So he was in Vietnam. Did you
Yeah.
see any combat?
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't realize.
There's a couple stories, but we won't
Yeah,
talk
yeah,
about
yeah.
those online. But when that conflict came, I was at college, and mom and dad lived about 3 hours away from. I was in Cincinnati. They were in, Van Wert, which was close to Lima. So figure that out. 2.5 hours, 3 hours away. And when it was pretty evident it was going to happen, the question now was, are they going to enact the what do you call it?
Draft.
The draft. My dad was nervous at minimum, and he even said to the point where, "I'll go on your behalf." So he came down on a Saturday.
Is that even an option?
It's not.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say, can you volunteer as tribute?
no, right? But
the Hunger Games.
I think the mentality behind it was he didn't want me to go through what he went through.
Of course,
right?
yeah.
And he asked me, "What are you going to do?" And I'm like, "What do you mean I'm going to do? I'm going to go." I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we do as Americans, right? And I don't see that in young men today. They're like, "Nah, we're not going." It's more like, "Where can I go? Can I go to Canada? Can I fake my knees hurt? What can I do to get out of it?" And I didn't know an individual that would have not gone and happily gone if their number was pulled. And I think we get it on a different level where freedom costs. And like I told my dad, do I
Yeah.
want to die? No. Am I going to run? No.
Yeah.
If everybody had that mentality, we'd be speaking,
Yeah.
Whatever German,
language.
Chinese,
German,
whatever you want to pick.
British.
British, yeah, right, British. We would have never been free as we are today.
Yeah.
And do I agree with all the conflicts we've been in? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But it's above my pay grade, right?
Yeah. Yes, it is that is kind of interesting, and maybe a separate convo for a separate day. But there is if you don't, I think everyone get behind World War II. I mean, there was very obvious human genocide happening.
Sure, but then we can. And let me take I won't say what I was going to say. Let me take the opposite standpoint. You should have known that the planes were coming to Pearl Harbor. It was a setup. It was, and who knows? Maybe today I think there is that conspiracy theory out there that they wanted us to get into the war, so we put our guards down, so they allowed Pearl Harbor to happen. Do I subscribe to that? Again, don't know. But I think technology, because of where it's at today, had it been there then, I think all it would have taken is a small group of people to start throwing that out there, and then people, and all you need is 30-40% of the population to agree with you, and it can cause a lot of turmoil.
You don't
Yeah.
even need that many.
And and I think
Oh
Jordan's
yeah,
right, you don't.
I mean, yeah, I think social media has shown that the loud minority can.
Well, yeah.
The loud
can-
minority
can do
is-
some
It's not,
damage.
and it's a very small minority. How many of us, were forced to wear masks, get jabbed, lose your job? I mean,
Oh, dude,
private companies,
half the
private companies,
half the population.
yeah, private
half the
companies,
population,
were controlled by the government. I mean, and back to real estate, I was at a lady's house during this period of time. She was literally in her dining room. She was a single lady living alone, selling her house. She was crying.
During COVID,
Yeah.
what would that? Have
Well,
that
it was
would've been
right
crazy.
after.
That
It was
would've
a
been
little
crazy.
bit. It was after we were allowed to start selling real estate, so it was probably the middle or late of June or May of 2020. And for those of you that know me, I do have a sympathetic side. I know I come across as pretty harsh sometimes.
Very rare.
No, you do. You do.
But
yeah.
I saw her sitting there and I saw her crying, and I allowed my clients to leave because I wanted to talk to her. And I'm like, and I did. She was a middle-aged lady. I said, honey, are you okay? And she said, yeah. I said, none of my business. I said, but is there anything I can do for you? She's like, no. She's like, I just don't want to sell my house.
Why was she selling?
I said, then why are you selling? She said, I work from home. Now, listen to that. I work from home, but I work for a medical transcribing company that does federal work. And because they take federal work, the federal government is telling them that everybody has to have the COVID shot, and I'm refusing because I don't think I should get it. But because I work for a company that takes federal money, they're going to fire me. And I won't have a job, and I
Did
can't
they?
live
They
here.
have. Is it true that people who were terminated for rejection of the vaccine can, like, I heard that there was either a lawsuit or back pay. Like it when they got
Well,
when they
military got
when
their
they
back pay, and
military. Oh,
it was the military. Now, can you do it on a federal on a single basis? I mean, maybe, but I don't know what kind of. I think it'd be difficult because if you fire me because the federal government forced you to fire me,
Yeah.
how can you then come back and? I mean, I think the federal government, and honestly, I think it was the idiots that were in charge at the time, should be charged and prosecuted or
Yeah.
hung. But that's
That was Trump too, though, right?
no, he didn't
yeah.
for 2 months.
during COVID. Oh.
Yeah, if you want to,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you want to blame him for the month and a half.
Well,
Yeah.
Dean Thompson Snell says go blue. I'm sorry, dude. I didn't watch the game. Did they? They did win.
That's right,
Oh, yeah.
Gene,
Jordan,
tell 'em.
Jordan made
Go
sure.
blue. And I
Jordan-
wanted to say that at the beginning.
Jordan made sure to
Yeah.
let us know. He's like, "Did you watch the game?" I was like,
Which I think is crazy. I mean, you didn't even know about it. Maybe not watching it, but to not know about it is.
Yeah. How would I?
Social media, the
dude. If
news,
you
anything.
looked at my feed right now, you would see. Let's see, what would you see?
15,000 unopened
You'd
emails.
see- well, no, like my social feed. On my social feed, I'm actually doing a pretty good job lately of like, I'm trying.
He's down to 10,000.
We were talking about Claude, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to work to set up my my workflow to where I don't have to even go into social media anymore. A lot of it will either be posted on my behalf or posted like I'll have someone else post it for me because
So-
I don't really like it.
so
Like
just-
I'm kind of done.
just
with
so
it.
you
I'm kind
know-
of done with that. And I know it's ironic with this coming through live. Like on a probably so this might even get clipped out and posted somewhere. I don't like it, dude. Like the stuff is.
It's controlling.
It's controlling. The
Addictive.
comments are a bucket of crabs. Like the advertisers are, most of them are, they're full of it. They're like they're full of it. It's nonsense.
I think that's why Joe Rogan, honestly, is so popular.
Yeah.
He's just down to earth. And you get,
Yeah.
Well, he's divisive.
because he's
One.
down to earth, right? He
Well,
speaks
sure.
the truth most of the time.
He speaks his truth.
Well, right. But what I'm saying is he's honest about it. He's not politically correct. And I think that's, a lot of people just like the honesty in it.
I'm trying to remember the last Joe Rogan podcast. They're just so long, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they are.
The last one I watched was
I watched
with
clips.
long.
I watched
with
the whole thing.
They're
what's his
long.
name? Huff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to the
Huff.
Huff.
Oh, Huff.
He's a
He's an
theologist.
apologist.
Yeah, apologist. But back to the social media thing. I think part of the reason why there are so many just crap comments is that's what a lot of people are teaching at when you go to like state conferences or national conference or whatever. You want to like and comment a lot because it helps you promote in the algorithm. So by staying off of social media completely, you actually hurt yourself on social media, even your posts.
I mean, I think that's the price that's the price I'm willing to pay at some point because, and when I didn't mean crap comments, I said bucket of crab comments because like they're not just like, yeah, to help boost the algorithm. They're like
worthless.
They're okay. I saw like this
Not
meme. I saw this meme, right? Or it was my personal favorite, right? Like our boy, what's his name? Richard frickin'
Taylor.
Dude, Tyler, one of my purple belts sent me texted me a reel from him. I was like, oh yeah, we've been talking about him.
I think Richard is a great name for him.
He's going to jail. Yeah, I was like, he's going, and I just texted subject to his mortgage fraud. He was like, what? I was like, yeah, it's mortgage fraud.
Yeah, and there's so many people though.
It's more, but he's loud. He's well spoken. He's well spoken.
Yeah.
He's got high production value. His setup is good, and there's something in the human brain in which they're like, because you can't, like in person, there's like, not to call it up, we're not going to call it evolution, right? What I will say is I believe in evolution in the types of adaptation is what I think adaptation is a better word. Is what I believe in. So adaptation, like in person, there was a time for all this when I had to be able to be in a room and decide rather quickly if you were my enemy, if you were trying to kill me, if you're trying to take it, and I had to do all this by reading your body language. When you don't have that, and all you have to go off of is like a screen,
manufactured
a
clip,
screen, right? A manufactured screen. Like a lot of it, how many of it is cut or clipped or whatever, and how many takes did he get to get there? And now they're like, well, he's got good lighting, or he's got lights on in the background, or what he said. There's no one there to call him out immediately on his bullshit. Like you'd be like, hold up, Richard, hang on. Right. I've actually got tax code number for and you said you tried to get on his live.
I tried,
and he's like, no. So if there's no one there to interrupt it, and if you control the narrative, that's a really powerful thing too.
I mean, come on. We've got the word keyboard warrior for a reason, right?
Dude,
I mean, a lot of people run their mouth because there's nobody there to put them in check.
I know.
I mean, when those kind of guys got mouthy with us back in the day, what happened? They got checked really fast.
Yeah.
Put in line, and then they learned the pecking order. Yeah. You were wrong. Shut up.
Yep.
Right? And you can't do that because now you're offensive. Yeah. Right? Why are you being mean?
Or you get it's really, and it goes back to that strange well, I mean, we could talk about social presence or social schemes, but I like put enough messaging out there about clips from our podcast or whatever. I don't really want to be there because I've noticed I've gotten a lot more clients just people like you spend 12 minutes with someone in person, dude, you're gonna get way more of a return.
You're so much better off.
Way better off than.
And that's what I've said to agents for 30 years. Listen, face to face is your number one go-to. You'll just, and even what's funny is because I recruit agents, and I have so much more success on face to face or phone calls.
Yeah,
phone
calls are good.
Right. Yeah. When I text, when I email, my success rate is so much smaller. And Dave, it's still tough for me to pick up the phone and call somebody. And I'm just like,
well, it's tough to get them to answer the phone. Like I'll call you, dude. I don't care. But like even with in general, like people don't want to talk on the phone. They just want to text because verbal communication has its own, with even just on the phone, no visual, has its own skill set, right? A lot of people don't. I mean, talk to somebody today, and it's tough.
It's a parent who has the whereabouts to actually hold a conversation, and who has you're just talking to them, and you're like, "Yep, we're talking, but nobody's home."
Have you ever talked to somebody, and it becomes pretty clear pretty quickly that if they take their phone away, how much they rely on Google to be able to quote and spit game, right? Like I was thinking, hang on, let me go. I was like, no, finish your sentence, dog. like if you can't retain anything, right? Like I'm gonna need you to finish a sentence without going back to your phone real quick. So I'm gonna redirect this.
Yeah, we
get
gotta-
us back out. Yeah, because I know you guys are on a bit of a timeline.
Yeah, we're good.
Let's go. I'm gonna do a Reddit rundown, and I've got one that says that's a played out. I'm gonna use that one for last. Did you buy a home? And let me screen share this one. Can I do that? Where's my eCam? And we're gonna screen share. Fantastic. I'm gonna brew this. Okay, perfect. Did you buy a home? If yes, how old were you and what year? So this is for the ripe old age of 34. I closed on my house yesterday, and so what is the average? I know we could look up the industry
40.
average. It's 40 now, but in your clients, what are you guys actually seeing? Like first-time home buyers? I know that's probably a national average, but take that into account. You're talking California, which
No,
is,
so
you know,
here's I'll use this as an example. When I was actually talking to him on the way up here in the car, I was saying, funny story. I'm at the gym, talking to this guy that I've known for. I mean, I see him at the gym. Again, we're talking about face-to-face conversations. I talk to people all the time at the gym. Just hey, how you doing, whatever.
that's actually
I do.
Do you?
That's
I do.
actually
I try.
That's actually a
good.
great networking place.
I do. I try, especially. Well, yeah, never.
So those are jujitsu academies.
Yeah. I remember. I'll let.
No, you're
I'm
good, you're
coming
good.
right
Go
back.
ahead.
I'm coming
No,
right
you're
back to you. I feel like we cut you off a lot. I remember, Jerry. You said, dude, if you want to be successful in real estate, get into expensive hobbies.
Yeah.
Like literally, and that's why you're like, I'm getting my air pilot's license. I was like, expensive hobbies. That sounds kind of silly. And then Scott's over here closing $1 million deals. I was like, what's he do? He bowls. It's not necessarily expensive, but he's.
But where does he bowl?
Yeah, where's the Detroit Athletic Club?
Detroit Athletic
Yeah,
Club.
that's a network, right? Jordan,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So I'm at the gym working out with the guy, and he's just asking me, hey, how's real estate going, with the market and everything, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, it's going good. I said, people still got to buy homes. I said, of course, you may not have the craze market that we've had in the past 4 or 5 years, or not 4 or 5, but, 2020, 21, 22. I said, but people are still buying homes. I said, people got to move. I said, I've got a guy who's been renting for 14 years in his same apartment.
What's his rent?
It's gone up now. I can't remember what it is now, but he said it's I think like 1,000 or 1,200. So it's
I think he said
still-
1,200.
I think it was 1,200. Yeah.
14,000 a year, 14 years. It's
Yeah.
160.
Yeah. So he literally goes, huh, yeah, that's me. Turns around and walks away. So there's 2 people right there that have been renting for. I mean, I don't know exactly how long he
How old
has.
is he?
Oh, he's in his 40s, 30s, late 30s, early.
So
40s.
just think about it. There's 300,000 gone. You're never going to see between those 2 gentlemen. Gone.
Well,
Gone.
do you believe? I guess let's ask a question. Do you believe? 2 questions. Do you believe everyone should
No,
should own a home?
not everyone.
Wow. I think. Well, I guess if you are financially capable and have the mentality.
So we already know not everyone.
That's
There we
go.
go.
Those are 2.
Well, here's
so
the reason I say that is
should, right? I
if you're
guess.
renting, you have the financial means because most places are still going to qualify you to get into it. Like the landlords, the owners of homes that I know, the investors, they want a 3x income, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the rent is 1,000, you have to make a minimum
Wait,
of
hold on.
3,000.
3x. Even that seems light.
But
That's
that's
the
for
minimum.
tight,
Yeah,
I
that's
should
the
say,
yeah.
But that's the minimum that they're going to want, right? So even rentals have income limits. So yeah, I just think you need to buy within your means. But
And I'll disagree.
I struggle with this because there's what's called maintenance on a property, and if you're not intelligent enough to start budgeting and putting away for things that are going to break, are going to get to the end of their life cycle, and when they do replace them, a lot of people just aren't
yeah. So
capable of doing that. So I guess in those instances, even in my head, I quickly think, okay, so you don't buy a house, now buy a condo because all those are going to get done, right? Exterior maintenance is already there. You don't have to worry about it.
but
So,
even then,
I don't know.
Like I said,
That's a struggle, people.
I'll use I'm sure everyone's familiar with Habitat for Humanity. They build houses, sell them to people who need it, et cetera, et cetera. Down to Monroe,
What?
Habitat for Humanity.
They
They build houses
build
and
houses.
give them
Not
people.
give them. They sell
Well,
them
Okay,
at a
they sell them at a
discounted
very
price.
discounted.
How,
Sorry.
how do you decide who you sell it?
They have to apply.
They
have
apply.
to go through, steps.
So, but anyways, so yeah, we can talk about that later. So
I know where he's going.
we do YPN, the Young Professional Networks. We help out with the builds. So, usually once or twice a year, we get a group down. We go do whatever they need, whether it's clean the house up, put in a vinyl fence in, which is what we were doing. So I was digging the holes, putting in the posts, and setting them, everything.
That's tough work.
Yeah, not easy. Yeah,
Well,
not easy.
Well, wait, how were you digging it? How were you
With
digging
the manual postal digger.
Oh,
just
the
stupid.
old
Yeah,
one?
they
You don't
didn't-
have the corkscrew one?
They didn't. They
Get
didn't
the
have it.
get the corkscrew.
I literally. So yeah,
How
that's
about rent one?
Yeah,
No,
$50
so
for 4 hours.
I have
or something.
I have
We
a
have
two-person
one.
one in my garage.
And I'm like, hey, I live 15 minutes away. You want me to go do this? Nah, this is good. This builds character. I said, is this a joke? I said, we're
Builds
here
character.
volunteer.
That's-
Anyways, so we're doing this, and I was talking to a mortgage rep that was there with us, and we looked next door, and it's another Habitat house, and when I say, I don't want to say destroyed, but you could tell no one's maintained anything. There was mold and mildew all over the vinyl siding, trash all over the yard. Things were broken, and it's just like, yep, you can give somebody a house. It doesn't mean they take care of it, and that's a perfect example. Is you can give. I won't say give because you're not giving it to them, but you're
Discounted.
discounting a house for someone who needs the help to get into the house, and then within 5 years, the house looks like it's 100 and some years old because it's so just
Trash.
dirty and trash.
I have a. I don't know. I mean, this is going to get clipped out. It may not get clipped out. Did you watch that clip I sent you with Jeffrey Epstein?
Which one?
He's being interviewed on 60 Minutes.
Oh yeah.
You've seen this one?
Yeah.
Dude, the guy is smart. But like, I'm gonna say, I'll pull it up in our thread. Like, it asked him whoever the host was,
Yeah.
and it was his second time on, and it was so one apparently it was before the housing crisis, one was after, and he's like, "Do you remember when you asked me if I thought everyone should buy a house?" And I said, "No, it's way too risky," and his reasoning was because the average person like is not financially it's too imagine if and when they begin to default, take it, and dude, he goes in, it's this whole epilogue, it's like 8 or 10 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's too long to share. I'll put it back into and he goes through the whole thing, and Clinton, right? Yeah, he got in, like, he's like, he started saying, we're not gonna lend to these people because they're unbankable, right? But they then repackaged that
Revamped
and
it.
made it subprime. And there's so my answer is no. Oh, just like it's the same reason I believe not everyone should have kids. Are kids a blessing?
Amen.
Are kids a blessing? 100% they are. Are they? Is there a lot of fruit and value and benefit and fulfillment that comes from having children? Absolutely. Is there also an immense amount of responsibility and money that it takes to feed, raise, like appropriate
School.
We'll say
Well, even if you go
we'll say
public, right.
responsibly to or successfully raise a child. I mean, you could theoretically there's an entire wealth plan of get pregnant by as many guys as possible and have the government pay the bill. That's a retirement plan for a lot of women, right? But is that really a successful way to raise kids? I personally don't think so. So to own a house costs a lot of it's a huge value, it's a huge benefit, but I don't think everyone, just like I don't think everyone should be a business owner. Personally, I dig it, right? I think there's a lot of flexibility. There's a huge amount of stress to it, though, and it's a huge. There's trade-offs, right? I mean, Jerry, like, I mean, you actually, I think you had less trade-offs than because of the way you set it up with the kids and especially the industry you chose. Like your stories of the boys being able to take the boys to places like Kalahari in low, like off-peak seasons because of how you set it off or whatever. So I don't think everyone should own a house.
Well, and
They
again,
should have the option. Like, you shouldn't be
Sure.
restricted.
Yeah.
Like, this, but I don't think everyone should. Some people are renters.
It's just not smart for some people. I mean, and part of what he was saying was going back to the budget. Rent it doesn't matter if it's a third because they spend it anyways. So they think, oh, I make $3,000, and I'm just using round numbers to make it easy. 1,000 goes to my monthly payment, and I'm going to use these two to do whatever I want. I'm not going to budget for the roof when it goes bad, or the furnace, or the fill in the blank. I mean,
our government can't even do that.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be real, right? I mean, if our government knew how to budget, we wouldn't have to be taxed at a 40% tax rate across the board, pretty much.
A few data points, and to our point, would you guys care to guess the average emergency fund, the amount of the emergency fund for the average American when you back out high performers?
$200.
I was going to say 1,500.
$200.
The median has 500 to 600. The median amongst people who do have savings is about 5,000. The average, which is skewed by high earners, is 16 to 18,000. So I said, okay, well, but let's back out those making over $250,000 because those are high earners. And then it went down to, $500 to $1,000. How much of a roof are you going to buy for $1,000? You can't buy the tarp.
A few shingles.
You can't buy the tarp. You can't buy the
No,
tarp.
I said a few shingles.
Yeah, you can't buy the tarp
For a
paper.
new roof?
Yeah, you can't do the tear off.
I can buy the drip edge.
You can't.
Am I right? About $200? Come on.
You can't do the tear off for $1,000.
No.
If you're hiring the labor. A lot, still can't cover $1,000. Every time I see that, it's sad. Many rely on credit cards, payment plans, borrowing from family.
Well, that's like when COVID came. Sean, one of my other agents, great guy, great business guy, has done extremely well. And when the beginning of COVID, he was like, man, what are you going to do if, things go south really fast? And Jordan will tell you, my philosophy growing up is at a very, very minimum, you should have like a 9-month reserve.
Oh, that's
end of discussion.
That's
liquid in my bank where if I, broke both legs, can't work, can't do anything, my business went default, I got at least 9 months to figure out what the heck am I going to do. So I said, I'm good. I'm like, if we get into year 2, I might start worrying, but right now I'm good. And Sean's the same way. Very, he's got money, he's doing well. And he was like, most people will do fine. And I'm like, no, Sean, the vast majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck and have no reserves. And we checked it, we Googled it, and the numbers were pretty eye-opening. I think the average American only has like $500 or $1,000, in savings, and they're living paycheck to paycheck.
That's why they had to do the unemployment, paying everyone $50,000 to stay home, which was more, and that caused a whole separate problem. Yeah. So that's to that point, I don't believe. I just don't believe people. It's a huge thing, right? It's a huge, and you're working on your house. Like you're always. I'm looking
Amen.
at literally this warmer weather. I'm like, man, I'm looking out at like we planted those trees. Like I think 6 or 7 of them didn't make it. So I'm like, I gotta. And trees.
They're not cheap.
They're $100 for a little 6-foot. I was like, man,
a little 6 foot.
Okay. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess it's bigger, right? But they, I'm just like, it's a tree, right? I was like,
wait till fall.
Oh, dude.
Wait till fall when they go 80-90% off.
Yeah,
they're half dead.
Yeah.
But then he plants them and they die again.
Yeah,
but they come with a year warranty.
No, they don't.
Yeah,
Yes, they do.
It depends where you get them.
No,
Yeah.
Home Depot, all of them, they still give a year warranty on them.
Yeah, but
Or
then
guarantee,
I'm
I would say warranty.
replanting them, right? Like I'd rather give them a shot, like through the warmer weather and things. Okay, so
Fine, spend $600.
I know. Let's see. All right, so let's go into this home inspector. We're going to talk about the quality of new build homes and what you guys have seen. So I'm going to share my screen here. We're going to get this guy's big head on my screen. Here we go.
Oh, so you got it already. Okay,
Yeah, I got him.
You don't want me talking about contractors? Come on.
Yeah, actually, I may. Uh-oh.
The project manager's inside, and he comes out and he says, hey, Jordan, just so you know, we've had
Like
our
the dude's
own
name.
in-house inspector already go through the property. We had to fix a couple things, but it's all complete, so you shouldn't be here too long. Well, I've heard that one before. Let's have some fun.
This isn't that big. That's a couple screws. You know, this one's not a huge deal.
It's more of a point. It's a new
Yeah,
build.
it's the attention to detail, right?
Yeah. Now this one is what I was laughing at.
My kids. That's a problem. That's a problem.
Oof. Yeesh. Oh, I probably shouldn't have done that. Oh,
Is it backing up?
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna leave that
Yeah,
alone.
it's backing up. Yeah, that's a problem.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but if your energy bill is, I don't know, $600, $700, $800,
900.
you might want to jump in your attic and see if it's insulated.
That's crazy.
That'd be a good idea. I am grateful for whoever insulated this water line, though. In the laundry room, the door, when you shut it, you can open it, but you don't even need the doorknob. You can just push it open.
That's a simple latch.
Why is the doorbell not working? Why
What's
is
that a doorbell
light not
to?
working? Looks really nice from here. But when you get closer, you see this,
Oh,
and then you see this, and then you see this.
oh, wow.
I must be the only one that sees this. Somebody put all the screws on the grinder pump lid and just left it here. He's like, I'm done. You know, the same guy that left that screw sitting on the grinder pump lid is probably the same guy that strapped this conduit.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yep,
What is that?
we got power.
Sump pump?
Yeah, it's a sump pump. It's an alarm.
Now I can see it. There's the opening for the spiders, and there's the opening for the snakes. You know it's
And
going to be
mice.
a good new building. there.
So
That's a new build for you.
yeah, I mean, I here's what I will say. I mean, a few of those things.
Are you're not? I mean, listen. New construction does not mean perfect construction.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people expect perfection, and I think if that is what you're expecting, then go for the modulars that are actually pre-built in sections, because all those are mitered within thousandths of an inch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those machines never move. They're built extremely energy efficient.
I'd say go visit a job site a day and see who they like. And every crew's different, so I'm not talking.
Even the time of
smack,
year is
yeah.
different, though.
Yeah. Oh, dude, there's a house that's on my street. This is kind of crazy. It was like an 800 square foot.
Shed?
like shed, kind of right, like probably a 2-bedroom or something. Someone bought it, put a second level on it, put a garage on it,
Jeez.
roofed it, and left. So it's been Tyvek'd for a year in the Michigan, and the Tyvek lasted 12 minutes, which is how it's
Got
moisture
blown off.
moisture.
Yeah.
So now all of this exterior sheeting,
It's got to come off.
no, they're gonna side it this spring. I saw guys over there. They're gonna side it for sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna
My
side
contractor did that. So my garage,
Yeah.
that was one of the fiascos. One of the 1,374. My garage is a 2-story. So garage on the main floor, upstairs man cave. He was putting the flooring down, just the sheathing,
The subfloor, yeah.
and day
Roof's
went
not
by.
on yet.
Roof's not on yet.
By the way.
Oh,
We gotta add that in.
2 days go by, and I'm like, dude, it's gonna rain. You might want to get that, the roof on, something to cover it, whatever.
why was he putting that? Why?
So it gets rained on.
What?
It gets rained on. And he comes back. I'm like, and I just shook my head. I'm like, no. He's like, what? I said, it's all got to come out. And he just looked at me like I was a crazy one. I said, dude, it just a torrential rainfall. It's not like it just sprinkled a little bit. Not a big deal.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No,
yeah.
it rained for 3 hours and you were up there sweeping the water off. No, it's coming off.
What
Gone.
On what planet? Why?
Well,
why was
Well,
why?
I was saying you do remember
Well,
the other stories at this.
Come on, I can tell you
What
more
not-
stories
but,
about
like,
this guy.
okay, but like you have the sheeting anyway, right? You have the sheeting anyway. Put it on the roof instead of the why? I have question. Like
Oh, you should have sat. Oh, I ended up.
I know I've heard a few of the
I mean,
stories about this,
unfortunately,
too.
I ended up taking a lot of time off work to watch almost every step just to make sure it was getting done correctly. And that's the sad part. I'm like, I should have just did this myself.
you had so that I think that is the
No, you shouldn't have.
that is
Jordan
yeah,
really got
yeah,
called on it.
yeah. How many
No.
how many fingers we got? 9.5.
Seriously.
Yeah.
9 and 3/4.
You should ask what I was doing last
2/3.
night because we're still working on that stupid barn.
What were you doing last night?
Insulation.
Listen, sometimes
Insulation?
Yeah,
What type of insulation?
rolled.
Roll like bat insulation?
Yeah.
And I gotta go up in the attic on my hands and knees on these stupid 2x4s because there's nowhere to walk.
What do you mean 2x4s?
The 2x4 rafters.
2x6.
There's 2x6.
Oh, 2x6.
I was like, oh, no.
I can't see.
There's another another problem.
I can't see. I already insulated. I forgot. No, I have to crawl across.
Oh, so you put it in between your insulation. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm doing it both ways, right? So it's already in between. Now I'm going across just to make it a little bit better.
Oh
insulation.
wow. Okay.
no, so it's well insulated.
Yeah, that's heavy insulation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That is every horror story I've heard about new construction is like, yeah, you got to be there every day,
You do.
and that's if I'm going to be there every day.
You might as well subcontract yourself.
I might as well carve out time to. What is the material cost on a new build? I know you can buy home kits at Menards for like $90,000.
Yeah, I was just going to say, depending on. I mean, that's a hard question. How many square
Yeah,
feet?
yeah.
How tall ceilings do you
How
want?
many
What do you want on the
frogs- How many
exterior?
frogs fit in a bathtub?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm thinking to get it framed in. Yeah.
Biggest thing's going to be what type of foundation you want. Because if it's on a
That's
slab, that's easy. But if you want, like, if you have a
basement.
is it block? Is it poured? Is it
Poured.
Poured's concrete. Yeah, it's
Poured.
more, but yeah,
Poured.
you want it. Yeah.
Poured.
All right. So we're going to move right along to this.
Just a quick throw in.
Yes,
We were
sir.
talking about a bucket of crab comments earlier, and I screenshotted this from a real estate mastermind page, and I thought it was
Okay, wait. Use the word mastermind with a grain of salt.
Yeah. I say real estate mastermind, and anybody can join this page. It's
Yeah,
it's
of course.
Facebook,
Very
right?
evident.
Yeah. Clients want me to make a really. This was the post. Want me to make a really low ball offer on a listing. How do you handle this?
These
So-
are from masterminds.
Yep.
Okay.
Masterminds.
All right.
What do you think?
Okay.
Just guess at what the dumb comment's going to be. And I say dumb. I mean, you're worse than dumb.
Well, let me. Hopefully, my opinion isn't the dumb comment. I will. It's kind of like the genie. I work for you. I have to do whatever you say. But I'm going to advise. Is it the first house we've ever seen? Is it the 20th house we've ever seen? How low of an offer is it? Is it cash? What's
Yeah,
wrong
so
with
Is
this
it in
one?
writing?
Right.
Is it?
So-
yeah.
If it's a bad offer, I won't even present it to the listing agent and waste everyone's time.
That's incredible. That's
So
wild.
for everybody out there in TV land,
that is.
if you give me a written
How
offer
do you-
by law, I have to present
Yeah.
it.
How do you?
So you're going to do all the work to write up the offer, send it over for him to sign, do everything, and then just not send it to the listing agent. And then what are you going to tell your buyer?
Yeah,
They didn't
that's- how does
didn't
that
ex-
conversation even go? Like
didn't
what?
accept
like
it?
they didn't accept it.
They never
Dude,
responded. That would be the truth.
That,
Never got an answer.
dude, that's crazy.
But yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that one.
That's crazy.
Masterminds.
All right, so I don't really like that one. So we're gonna, it's like talking about it's another infographic of like what the steps to buy a house, and
Oh.
it breaks down a 47-point process into like four things.
Oh.
Um,
I thought you were saying it was a 47.
No,
I was gonna say,
no.
geez.
So it's saying 20% down. So we can still, and that is still a myth. Like
That's a huge myth.
so many people think
The only ones that have to do a 20% down are investors.
Yeah.
There
That
you
have
go.
to.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much required.
Yeah.
across the
Investors
board.
or people who just can't qualify for the
But even then, it's not that you have to put 20.
Yeah.
They might say you have to put 5, 10, 15, 20. They might just tell you no.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not conventional. I mean, there's special programs out there that are. I think there's a 0 down. Maybe.
For
Oh no, I
special-
take
no,
that. It's a 1%. 1% down
For who?
for first responders.
Yeah,
There's
still
a special
special,
programs
yeah,
out
there's
there.
special
Once in a while, you'll
programs,
see those out
yeah.
there. So that's a 1% down.
I
VA
haven't-
0 down.
Plus closing costs.
For
Yeah.
your high credit, I mean your good credit score people who make decent money, you can do 5% conventionals, but that's
Yeah.
probably the lowest if you don't have any type of special job or criteria that qualifies you for another program. 5% on conventional is going to be typically the lowest you can go on a conventional, and then 3.5 on an FHA, which that's 3.5% FHA all day long.
When do you guys see? So I've only been through a couple. Like last season was really my first like full summer season as an agent. I think no, it's coming on to 3 years. I guess I've been licensed now, but I don't think I did it. When do you see the fullest swing? So I know we're
Now.
starting to pick up spring.
Or when the weather warms
Yeah,
up. I mean, it's
yeah.
weather driven this time of
Yeah.
year. So as
Yeah.
soon as we hit those 60s, 70s, and people get the itch,
Well, and they see their yard too.
Yeah. Well,
I think they see their yard and they're like, I hate this place. Like they see the work.
I'm
that
there.
Dude, your
But spring
yard.
break and Easter is usually, I mean, no, everyone's traveling. It's spring break. We're going to travel, then come back and maybe start our.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's around now is when it's going to, I mean, plus the weather's starting to pick up. I mean, starting because it's Michigan, so we
It's
never
not
know.
this morning. I was ready. I was ready to show up in a t-shirt, and it
Yeah.
was 22 degrees.
And I even said to
I was
Jordan
like,
walking through the garage, I'm like, it actually looks beautiful, nice,
Yeah.
sunny, and then it's 25 degrees out. But hey, on a side note, my yard, even Sherry said this morning, looking out the back, she's like, this is the nicest the yard's ever looked. So we've been working on it so
Yeah.
much with making the pond and drainage ditches and pumps and everything to keep it drained. It actually is. It's looking really good. Haven't really done much. We bought
Some
some
like 60s, 70. It's supposed to even get a high of 70
Yeah.
next week.
next week.
Well, so that is that we're gonna call it that's this episode because I want to respect your time. You guys got what?
Time is it?
We've got time.
A C-bar.
No, we're
meeting?
good.
And okay.
Yeah, I
all
said
right.
we could.
Okay.
You said Monroe, and I know Monroe can be a range, right? So if you're going to like Newport, or
Cole
if you're
Street.
going
It's
to
Cole Road.
Cole. Where's Cole at? Downtown?
No.
Little south of just north of downtown.
Yeah, it's still north of downtown.
Yeah,
Downtown.
just north of downtown.
I showed I drove all the way to Dundee last week to show. It's actually my buddy's house. I didn't get the listing. You met with someone else, but
Jerk.
he's kind of like I only know him from a BNI group that we were in, and so
Gotcha.
he was already. But the house, he did everything great, but this foundation, dude, I shouldn't say foundation. The floor was just sagging. And you could tell he raised it and jacked it up. And I'm like, what's another 8 inches, though? And I even called him. I was like, he raised it 8 inches. And it's still
Hold
sagged.
up. He raised it 8
Yeah.
inches?
Yeah.
It had an 8-inch sag?
When he bought it. So, and it was an old, I could show you pictures. It was
An old 1800 farmhouse?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what's underneath? Is it on a
So
crawl?
so
Is it
now
on
so it's on a Michigan basement.
Okay.
And so which a Michigan basement has got like that it's got literally the field rock mortared in.
Yeah.
Someone had put at some point they poured a slab down there, but you could tell it was retro poured and it was not like
it's
I could have floated this better. Yeah, like and so it was just no one's gonna be down there. And then he jacked it up with those temp stands and things. But I'm like, if you're jacking it up,
how
jack it up more. You know, like
yeah,
what,
but how long's he been there?
a year and a half, 2 years.
You can't jack it that fast. You jack it that fast, you're gonna start cracking all, and if it's that
Well,
old,
I
it's
think
wet plaster.
I think he jacked it up. Well, so he took it down to. He literally did everything to this house.
Oh.
So he took it. No, he took it down to. That's why I'm so surprised.
Why didn't he fix it prior to
He took
then?
it down to studs and everything off this, the new siding, literally
Yeah.
everything, pretty much but the frame of the house. And And I'm just wondering why you wouldn't jack it up more, like put a true level on, because now he's got vinyl flooring on it, and you know how that stuff is not designed.
It's not designed to buckle like that. And that's one reason,
it's
even
not
with my
designed with a
garage,
sag,
I ended up going with carpeting.
in your garage. Oh, in your barn.
In the upstairs.
Yep, upstairs.
in the
That's why I
barn.
went with
Yeah.
carpeting.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably a better, because if you get too big of a room with that vinyl flooring, if you get too big of a room, it kind of, I don't really like it. Like because the carpet tiles, yours kind of have that checkerboard
Yeah.
pattern, right? Or the
It breaks it up.
I like that. I like that way.
And when you have
better.
an 1,800 square foot open room, we needed something to break it up.
Yeah,
That's why we.
I agree. But yeah, so you were down there, and it was listed at 330, and I told him, I said, dude, like my clients were, they're boys of mine, boy and girl, but they liked it, but they just can't get past this front. Dude, what's up with it, dude? And because I shot him straight, and I was like, dude, what's going on? Like, why wouldn't we raise it more? I said, they're scared.
Yeah.
You can tell. Here's how old the house was. You can tell they ran a pine tree through the sawmill and used it as a joist.
Yeah.
They're fat.
That's common.
I mean, they're fat,
Yeah.
right? But like, it's not like it's a twiggy, but you can tell like it's still got that kind of like tree.
I've seen
exterior,
seen some. We were in one, and it was, I think it was either Van Horn or Freeland. It was just off. We go to the basement, dirt floor. It's the same type. The main support beam is just literally a tree, and it's got like a almost this half door, and he goes and opens it, and it's literally like someone went in there with like a shovel and just scooped all the dirt out and had this secondary room of just dirt walls, dirt everything. And he goes, yep, nope, yeah, no. Closes it right back up. He's like, this is haunted. I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, this is
how they did stuff back then.
Yeah, it's so
But
weird.
here's my thing, like with that house that you just talked about. If you get an old home built in the 1800s,
Yeah.
early 1900s, in all joking aside, I tell my clients, listen, when you're 100 years old, you're going to have some leaks, you're going to have some sags, right?
Yeah.
It's aging. On the other hand, if you're okay with the character of it, if you're okay with those a little bit, is it structurally going to go anywhere? No, it's been here for 150 years, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be fine.
And that's what they said. They're like, I mean, clearly it hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah.
He did say, told me after the fact, when he raised it, he like started some of the joists started to crack.
Well, you're going too fast.
So he had to actually like scissor it.
I mean, and that's why I said, how long did he own it?
Sister.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I asked how long he had owned it, because you can only raise it so fast or you're going to start cracking things. I mean,
Like even joists, the floor joists?
they'll crack. Yeah. But yeah, because they'll bend over time, right? They'll just start to go back to their original position. But the way I do it,
How do
is
you-
I tighten it up as tight as I can, give it 3-4 months,
Wow.
let it relax, tighten it up again, let it relax, tighten it up again, let it relax.
What do you when you say tighten it up? What do you?
I'm raising it as tight as I can, but not so tight I hear cracking. And then give it some time to
Wow.
to relax into that position.
Interesting.
Because I even did
Remember,
that
it
like
took 100 years for it to get to that.
yeah,
You try to
did,
shove it
right?
all back in
It was
5
straight when they
minutes.
put it in.
So you would that would take time.
It does.
I mean, that would take if it needed to go out. Let's say because he said he raised it 8 inches. So imagine
8 inches. That's why when you said 8,
he's what he said. He's like I already raised it 8 inches,
and it was another.
and it was probably from the exterior wall to the center of the kitchen. Really, I'd say the center of the low point, which would have been another 20 feet, dude. If it didn't drop 6 inches, five, it dropped a lot. Like it dropped conservatively 4 inches, conservatively, right? So which is
How do you have a foot drop?
We
the
did
whole floor is
all right.
dropping,
So the guy, the moron that did my garage,
Yeah.
he put a header in that was too small. That header
over the doors.
Yep, over the garage doors was too small. So the headers that should have went in should have been rated at 1,600 pounds per foot.
He put what 2x8s in?
2x12s. But he put
How long is the span though? 'Cause
18 foot.
Yes, yeah.
And I have to-
So what's it need to be?
LVLs, like 20-inch LVLs.
yeah.
3, even it would have been like 4 or 6 inches thick. It was crazy. Anyways, So what went in was 1,650 pounds per
The
square inch.
inspector is equally as much to blame.
Oh, don't worry. We've had our come to
y-
Jesus
y-
meetings with the city or the township as well.
The inspector is like,
Yeah.
because that's kind of, I mean, that's structural, right?
Oh, it was
Continue-
huge. Well, yeah.
continue.
So what he put in though was only rated at 305 pounds per foot. So it
What
was
did it
already
need to be? What it need to be?
1,600.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So the builder that came over looked at it and he goes, "That's not right." He goes, "I'm gonna see what should be in here." He goes, "But this isn't just wrong. This is catastrophic failure. It's not. It may fall." He goes, "Your garage is going to completely fall over if we don't correct this." That's how bad it was.
Wow.
And so, and this is how I know, we had to go buy support beams and put them under the doors until the contractor could get to it, because he said that's how worried he was that this wasn't going to last.
Oh my gosh.
Oh no! So I had 2 in each door, because they were like 6 feet apart. And he's like, try to get that header up as much as you can until we come back. So Jordan and I would
So
go
it was
out.
starting to say, you saw
Oh, it was
starting to
already
say.
how big was that sag?
I'm trying to find the picture.
It was I would venture to say it was about a 2-inch sag.
Send it in our group chat so I can share it.
Yeah,
Jordan.
it was already a 2-inch sag. I might have deleted it.
That's
You can check my
fast.
phone.
That's
Well, that's my
like-
point.
Yeah,
right.
that's
So for
fast.
me to jack it up as much as I could. So what I did was I took my 2 supports. So imagine this was the garage door. Put the support beams here, and then what I used was a 6x6 on top of that to try to push the
Spread
center.
the load.
Yep, to
Yeah.
spread the load over it all. And I could only get about an inch of
Yeah.
the sag out, and that was going in like every 3 or 4 days and just cranking the snot out of it as hard as I could.
Were you doing like a bottle jack method, like just kind of like a bottle jack method?
Corkscrew. So I had a big wrench and I was wrenching it, and as I wrenched,
Oh,
it would go-
those are cool. So you
Yeah.
actually had your jack was the support in one, the 2-in-1.
yeah.
That's
And then
cool.
on the
yeah.
on the base,
Oh,
I had it sitting on 2 6x6s because I wanted to spread the load out on my concrete because I was jacking it so hard as well.
We only have close-ups. We don't have any of the angle where it shows the sag. But to show you how
But
undersized,
picture it's like a 16-foot wide door. 18-foot wide door. Yeah, and
Yeah, 'cause I went wider.
Yeah,
'Cause I hate, having to
yeah,
squeeze cars in and bull crap, so.
Yeah, that's substantial.
to show you
And-
the size difference, that's the size difference between the correct one and then the not correct one. You can see like on the right side compared to the left side.
Oh yeah, here. Let me send this.
Here it is. If you want, I can.
Maybe can I airdrop? I don't know.
Yeah, you should be able to. As long as
Just text
Yeah.
that to me, and I'll pull it up on the screen. That's
And he shorted me 18 headers.
well, what was the
Or,
how much were the beams? The LVLs.
I think they were $1,500,
Compared to 2x12s, which are
probably a couple $100.
a couple $100. Yeah, that's
And what the funny part is, I'm no builder. I'll be the first to say that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So those weren't even his original headers. Those were the second ones. What he tried to do before that was put 2x12s, and they weren't even 18 foot or 20 foot long like they should have been, right? Because if the door's 18, you got to have overhang.
Mm-hmm.
They were short, and then he spliced them together and screwed them.
Oh no. So
I looked up and I saw this. I'm like, yeah, that's not code. I'm like, there's no way that is going to hold
No.
a full second
No,
story.
no,
I
no.
wouldn't do that on a garage that didn't have a second story, let alone a full second story.
So that's insane.
So-
I sent you I sent it to you, and then I sent you one of the rotted. Once we took it down, we showed how
that
rotted
happened
it
in,
was.
in about a 3-year period of time.
That's how rotted the header was.
Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna. Oh no.
And that's how we crash.
No, I just opened up my mailbox, and that you know what that looks like. So it's like
15,000
my computer's freezing out right now. I'm gonna pull it up here. So Okay, so this is the rotted. Yeah, we're gonna open with preview. Sure, that way it'll take up the whole screen. Yeah, okay, so this is the rotted.
And that happened in a 3-year period of time.
That's incredible.
Yeah, we broke it up a little bit, but you can see just how.
I mean, that's substantial. In 3 years.
Yeah, so you can look.
So
what
he did a lot of So
what he did was he took the 2x12s and then he sandwiched in just what do you call it?
OSB.
The OSB
Yes.
in between.
So because you needed the thickness of that
Right.
LVL. So here's
He did the Timu version.
I realized the hypocrisy.
Timu would have even been right.
I realized the hypocrisy of the perceived hypocrisy.
and you can't see, but there's a bow there, right, in the center. And the reason that bow was there is it was sagging in the middle of each door. And if you go up with that, you'll see.
So
that's a different size. See up there where the two 2x6s are meeting? You can see that there's a little bit of a bow that goes up. So
Did
if you
he?
screen back out.
Did he notch out this?
Uh,
Yeah, that's notched out certainly.
I think.
Yeah, that was him.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is like he.
Just go back out.
He notched.
No. That I think. Yeah, that I don't know.
Well, or this came in after the. At some point, this came in after.
we came in.
What
after.
what
We
is
came
this?
in after.
I think that was one that we had to notch out a little bit to get the new header in.
We added him in.
Dude,
'Cause
this is
Because there was. Oh, that's what it was.
this is just a plate for your second floor.
Okay,
That's
so-
all these are.
All right, so what happened? Go back out and I'll show you. So what happened is, because the garage door here, let me move my mic. So the garage door onto your left side was sagging. The garage to your right side was sagging. It was causing the center here to push up, right? It was deflecting. Do you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I see.
And because it deflected up in here, we couldn't get that header in. So we had to just like take out a little bit, sliver it out to get this new header in. Not header, sorry. Truss. Floor truss in. So in order to get that new floor truss in,
'cause
we
you
had
you have
yeah,
engineered
we didn't
trusses.
have the room in there
because your
of the
second,
deflection.
and because your second floor had half the trusses it needed.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah,
Joyce actually.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
trusses.
no,
You're right.
Trusses.
Yeah.
So he only used 18 trusses when he should have used 36. He was almost 40 inches on center.
40
He was
40
30 he was-
inches
it was
on
36,
center.
yeah.
36, sorry. 36.
We said almost
36,
40, but
39,
yeah,
whatever.
It was like 36, 37, yeah.
There is nothing that
He did right.
permits a 40-inch on center.
And this passed the
Span.
city inspection. So listen, everybody out there
That's
in
crazy.
TV land, never trust the city inspector to get things done correctly. The city inspector came in and approved it all. Smaller header,
This is South
Berlin Township.
Berlin.
I love
you're
it,
on the
guys.
You're on the board, right?
I'm on the tax review board.
tax
Oh,
review
trust
board.
me, we had to come to Jesus meeting with the supervisor.
Did they compensate you at all? Nothing.
Compensate me? Yeah, they did another inspection for free.
Wow.
That inspector is no longer with the township.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say so. So here, I believe. I feel comfortable going on record saying this. If I need to retract it, I will. Full send looks good from my house. Anthony says to Williger.
Thanks, Anthony.
I think
Thanks, Anthony.
I think with especially the visual chat GPT and YouTube and hey chat, make sure this is to code, and I want to err on the side of it being over engineered.
Right. That's how I found out he was wrong.
You could I think you just, if you go slow enough, and it takes time, right? Like all this stuff takes time. Like especially framing was never ultra
Difficult.
complicated to me. Like I'm like
Yeah.
if I'm looking at and you take like we'll just use, this is all I've got. No, we're gonna use.
And Dave, that's why
so-
I consider doing it myself because I'm like, framing is not difficult, right?
Craziest thing.
But when I went to the second story, I wasn't confident in my ability.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't know how to do the second story on top of the first story and what I need and blah blah blah.
Well, there's and there,
It's the minute things.
second you get a second story.
Yeah.
Now there's usually equipment, right? Like you need equipment, especially second story. Like you should be I mean, you should be tied off on a 1-story roof, but like you definitely need, like you fall off a 1-story roof.
It sucks.
It sucks, but you're like okay.
Yeah.
You fall off a 2nd-story roof, you could die. So, but like even the point of like I've seen, we'll call it joists, where the wood is put not structurally, so it's put flat, and then it obviously starts to sing when obviously the wood needs to be, that's going to bear the load, but even still up to a certain span, like there's span charts and. That's the other thing you can get in from chat. Like, hey, I'm putting in a beam and it's 18 feet. What size? What size 2x12 do I need? Hey, moron, you actually need an LVL beam, right? Like that's gonna be.
That's pretty much what I did. I measured what he put up there.
Stupid.
Put into ChatGPT what he did use, and ChatGPT did confirm exactly what the contractor said. The other one, that's catastrophic failure.
That's tough.
Yeah.
See, here's the things I won't. There are a few things that are, I'll call it artistic in building. Mud work is one of them. Like you can say you can make
Who
jokes.
was I just
but
talking
not
to yesterday?
Plaster is exceptionally hard. Because that's masonry at that point. But mud work, have you guys ever done any mud work?
Drywall, it
Yeah.
sucks.
It's.
The guy that did my old house.
You
dude,
better like sanding when you're learning to do it, because it's just gonna. I mean, it's forgivable, right? Like, it's ripple. It doesn't look smooth. Go back, sand it off again, try again. But
it's an art.
The degree of like even fanning the blade so where it's a good feather, like that's artist. Similar thing is floating concrete. I mean, if I mean, I could feel comfortable pouring like maybe a landing pad, like at the edge of, I could do a small slab, right? A
sidewalk,
a
sidewalk square.
slab I could handle. I think I could handle that. But then you get into even, I'm going to say plumbing is not the most complicated thing on the planet. It and there's going to be
plumber boys.
You know Mike Drain, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mike's my boy, and he's
Is he a plumber?
He's a
I didn't know
he's
that.
a union pipe fitter, and he's a foreman. So, but have you ever used a pro press? Dude, no. Pro press is the how AI is the cheat code for coding. A pro press is the cheat code for copper plumbing.
Oh, does it squeeze it together and welds it and everything?
It crimps it. It's slide fit coupling with a rubber seal. The tool's like $2,000. Crimps it together, sealed, done. No soldering. No soldering. Done in seconds. And because I had to put a new silcock.
Yeah.
These are things you learn, right? New silcock on my house, and I'm like, I got to quote my boy. He's like $450. I was like, this is a 2-foot piece of pipe. I was like, I was like, I can't. And that was like the hookup price. I was like, I can't justify it. Like, so I literally pulled, pulled the old one out. Mike Bartlett, because it was copper, and I was concerned. I didn't want to do shark bite. So I was.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, I was like, I was concerned about soldering. He's like, oh, just borrow my pro press, dude. This thing, I could plumb a whole house with that thing. Like, and
have fun doing it.
Well, and he was even saying, he's like, a lot of even pros on job sites now, they won't. You still, to get your plumber's license, you need to pass a soldering test. He's like, I don't know why no one does it anymore. Like let me rephrase.
Yeah.
Very few people do it.
Yeah.
Because
I had a pipe freeze in the house over the winter when it got down to -20. And
I remember this story.
I had to cut it out. It was behind the washer. And I had to go buy, 2-foot piece of, copper plumbing. And Jordan was like, have you ever done this? And I'm like, a couple of times. It's really not rocket science. It's not,
soldering,
right? Yeah. I said it pretty much sucks it in and, you're good. And I said, you need to learn how to do it, though, so watch. So I just showed him, and it's
not the most complicated thing. I mean, like, you'll be able to tell
right away.
You'll be able to tell from a novice plumber or a novice solderer
Sure.
to, if it's covered in lead or whatever it is.
No.
Solder. What is the little wires? Is it solder? What is it?
It's called flux.
Flux.
No, flux cleans it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anyway.
Sorry for all those people out there.
Terwilliger says, I'll get electrocuted before I call anyone for help. It's true.
I'm with you,
seen it.
Tony.
Yeah. No. So here, back in the day, here. my dad, dude. But when I first bought my house, I have I have to my laundry is in my garage. And at some point, there was an exterior wall, it's the brick wall, and so the pipe goes through, and one of it was leaking, and it was those old like turn valve. I was like, let me just I'm gonna unthread this one because it was threaded on. Effectively a valve.
The off valve or to turn it on and off.
The spigot,
yeah.
Right? Because then
Don't get racist on me.
So and it was I'm gonna unthread this, and it was kind of tight. So then I take a pipe wrench, dude. When I unthreaded it didn't move the spigot. It snapped off the whole 4-foot section through to the interior of my basement. And all I hear, and I see some water coming, a little bit of water coming through this hole, this like half-inch hole.
And Amanda yelling.
And I just hear it on the inside. I go downstairs. It looked like a scene from the Titanic. And it's scalding hot water because it's the hot water. And it's scalding hot water. And I'm like, And I just bought this out and dude.
Was it a finished basement?
No.
Okay.
So it's poured foundation.
Yeah.
So, but it was in my furnace room. It was in my hot water tank was over there. And I'm like, where's the main? I had just bought it. I'm like trying. And even the main now is this tight. And I'm like, please. If this happens to the main, I'm just gonna have to burn the house down. And so then I turn it off, thankfully my uncle lived across the street and introduced me. It was just a half-inch. It was really small. And it was so. I could not, dude. Literally, it looked like the scene in Titanic where it's just water pouring in it, and that's what it looked like. That's funny. So there are some. If I'm like, how much damage am I gonna do? So
that's funny. So when ours broke, all it was like an inch sliver, because it froze and expanded out.
Yeah.
And when it was leaking behind the wall. So we weren't getting the full effect upstairs. We're trying to mop it up. And I'm like, why isn't this mopping up? This entire time it's going into the basement. And what is right below it? I mean, exactly. I could have drawn a straight line below it. My 220 outlines. Coming into the house. Oh, it was just... So we immediately, when I see that, I'm like, oh my word. So I turned it off. We get everything cleaned up. I call my neighbor who's an electrician, and I'm like, what do I do? He's like, are you standing in water right now? He's like, if you are, I advise you to move. And I was. So I'm like, what do I need to do? He was like, well, is everything off? And I said, yeah. He's like, turn everything off, and get just a battery-operated light. And get a blow dryer, or get a what do you call it?
Hair blower.
A leaf blower.
Oh.
He said, and leaf blow it off as best you can. He said, then get a little space heater and put it on it. Let it just warm up, dry off. He's like, honestly, everything will be fine. You just need to make sure everything's dry. And we waited like 8 hours or something, 6 hours.
A few hours,
And then we just let it dry off, and we dried it and turned it back on, and everything worked great.
Dude.
But, trust me, when it was happening, I was like, no.
Well, this goes back to, I think there's a level of
back to home ownership. Should everybody
home ownership? Like, you have to be willing, because there's a level, just like anything else, like, I'm willing to fail at this a little bit. Within reason, like to your point, I'm not going to build a second. So like if there's a chance my kids are on something and they could fall to their death,
right?
I'm going to need it, or get a second opinion. There are so many people.
But tile work, perfect example. I've never done tile work in my entire life. But when you're going to pay somebody $20 a square foot,
I know.
Listen,
and I'm only
I'm
only at $1.50 to $2.50 a square foot.
No, we're gonna stop him because
I'm doing it myself.
Why do I feel like were you supervising Jordan doing tile work? I feel like
I don't think he's ever done tile work. Oh, he did do tile work.
Are you joking?
He's an angry kid.
So
like he was abused when he was little or something.
We did 1,000 square feet of the same 1,000.
It was a one that looks like wood. The long planks.
1,000 square feet of it in a week.
Well, those are tough.
Yes.
because they can bow, right? They can. It's like, and you got to look for those are tough.
So
Those are tough.
not only
They
did
were.
we do the 1,000 square feet of tile, we also had to do the tear up of the 1,000 square feet. And not only was it one type of floor, there was 3-4 different levels. So now imagine trying to put in this long tile, and it's like
Wah,
this.
wah, wah, wah.
We've never done tile. I'm 17 years old with my 15-year-old brother, and we have to get it done before my mom gets home next week because she's gone on vacation.
She's gone on vacation. I was going to surprise her.
So the comments
was
that
good.
were made.
If you were 12, I would have sympathy for you.
Thank you.
You're
Well,
se-
no, we weren't
17.
17. I was.
Didn't
'cause
you just say you were
I
17?
was. I said it, but I wasn't. I was.
Let's
If you were a
see.
teenager or older,
He was they were
I was
both
a
in their
teenager.
teens.
I was probably
they were
like 15,
both in their
16.
teens.
I mean,
He probably was
yeah.
16 years old.
And if he had delegated the task to you and said, I want this done by the time mom gets home, like my dad did to me when I was 14 with a retaining wall project around his estate. Like,
That's
literally,
funny.
he set the line. It was like, I want all the blocks level to line. I was like, and I'm
How do you do
dude,
this?
I'm
Yeah.
13. Like I'm not.
See?
I'm
Yeah.
not
We were-
exaggerating.
we were- fell on deaf ears.
No, we were in the Riverview house.
Right. You were driving, though.
No,
Yes,
hold
you
on.
were.
We moved to South Rockwood when I was 17, 16.
No, that is
Yes,
not
it-
true.
Yes, it was because
your brother
I was
was
going into my senior year of high school.
That is not true.
Yes,
While
it
they
was.
figure out who
Your
what the
brother
story actually
was
was,
going into
we're
his
gonna,
senior
we're-
year.
I'm,
I'll bet
Rockwood.
money right now.
I know you guys got to get to Monroe. So, if you have, by the way, do you have a good mason?
No.
We
I
need
know.
a good mason. I need to be able to refer a good mason to my clients. I don't have one. I have work here at this building. I have work at my house. I'm talking a good mason who can do, and not like flat work. I need a slab. I need a 20 by 20 slab who can do it and not charge $40,000. Okay, so if you know a good mason, put it in the comments, and we'll go from there. But guys, it is home buying season. If you want to buy, if you want to buy, but you got a house to sell first, get it listed first.
Amen.
No one is interested in your contingent offer. I'm sorry to say it. Very few people. All right, disclaimer. Very few people are. So other than that, call any one of us. Pick your favorite. If you don't like any of us, we got a gaggle more back at the office. Plenty of ladies too. If you guys don't like working with men for some reason, and then you got your choice to pick from. I'm David Fox, the Black Belt Realtor. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks so much.